Hey, what's up, you guys? Welcome in VIP group live Sunday night. And I just want to do this in case you guys had questions, concerns, comments, all that kind of thing. Chat over to the right-hand side. You guys should be able to see that chat. Hopefully you guys can see. Is everybody here? Probably should link this one more time inside of Facebook just in case there's a few people that aren't here. Say something in the chat if you guys are, because I'm not seeing anything. So I don't know if anybody's here in the chat yet. Oh, fantastic. Is the chat working? Yeah, there it is. Hey, what's going on, everybody? There we go. We got chat. Good. I'll post again in the VIP group. Make sure everyone that's watching that wants to get in can get in right now. And then we'll get started. I'll take questions from you guys, all that good stuff. How's everybody's Sunday going? Please don't also share any of these links for the VIP group. The link is private, but only if you share it, somebody else can get in. So it's only to who I provide it to. So just remember that. Just remember that it's only for us. There we go. David's here, and Peter, Tiffany Ward. Hey, flip that 5. David Christek. The Pens won. Yeah, I saw that. Watched some Lightning game last night. Lightning beating up all over New Jersey. Boston beating up on Toronto. The Penguins are winning. Penguins and Flyers are what? 2-1 Pittsburgh now, right? Yeah, I think they are. So good hockey playoffs if you guys like hockey. If there's anything you want me to cover, though, if you want me to answer some questions, if you had any issues this weekend, selling, shipping, any of that stuff. Christy McKay, what's going on? We have some new members of the group, a couple who bailed out, but I hadn't talked to them in months. A couple who, still here. So appreciate everyone who is hanging out. I saw a question from somebody. They knew they weren't going to be able to come on live, but they had asked me about the mobile listing fix not working, and I'm still checking into that. So if you're having issues editing your listings to mobile friendly, I'm still working on that. So yeah, so if that's not working, the link in my video and the code. Hey Gary, how you doing? Gary's a new member. Welcome in, Gary. Appreciate you being here. It looks like everybody's a little busy on Sunday. Some people don't have power. There's tornadoes here in Florida, so a couple of Florida members I know are probably out of power. I just want to make sure I come in here live on Sundays, make sure no one has any questions, all that good stuff, and make sure that everyone doesn't have anything crazy going on, because most people start shipping on Sunday or have shipping on Monday, and I don't want them to have any orders that are messed up or things they need to cancel or pending or whatnot. So otherwise, if not, then I won't stay on too long, and I'll get back to work. If you guys don't have anything for me, no, 13 people. David got a pair of Peter Millar swim trunks with no size tag. Hey, Tracy, how are you? If the waist is 16 across, elastic, that would make them a large 34-36. Not necessarily. Wouldn't it be like a 32-34? I think it'd be like a 32-34. 16 across, round 32. Maybe I'm wrong. I never do that. Christy, good question. If you return, approve a return for request item not as described, they don't actually send it back to you. Once you have eBay close the case, if they don't mail it within 5 days, you call eBay, they'll close the case manually, and they won't be able to return it. And then the label, I believe, only gets charged if they use it. If you're printing a label manually, then yeah, you'd have to go void the label. But there won't be a label in your shipping label screen for the returns, because I don't think it goes into the charge until they use it. I would check your invoice next month just to be sure, but I'm pretty certain that's how it works. The elastic would be loose for a 32. Maybe, yeah. So maybe like a 34. Yeah, probably. It's probably like a size 34. The equivalent of a 34 is probably best. I would just give them the measurements, because you don't want somebody buying it and say, well, he said it's a 34, and then all of a sudden you're jacked up. So Just give the measurements. That's really the best that I could recommend to you. That's what I would do. Heather says she's on with no chat. Heather, are you okay? Is Heather being able to see this chat? Heather Wright said that she was on but no chat. And Jed says his views are down 50%. Any suggestions? It depends. How much listing have you been doing? Hey, what's up, Adonis? How you doing? 17 people in the chat now. Thank you, guys. Just Adonis answering questions. If anybody has a couple questions, I'm not going to hang on too long. Got to eat. Probably around like 6:15. I'll probably jump off of here. So, Heather, if you're not in the chat and you can't see this, I apologize. If you see this later, comment and I'll answer comments for you. Not really sure what's going on. Hey, Julie, how you doing? Just, I guess I got to give people a few minutes to get into the chat. It takes everyone a couple minutes, looks like. I don't want Julie to, I mean, not Julie, Heather to miss it. Gary, the Robert Grahams you can send me photos of and I'll take a look at it. If you don't like clothes, what else to sell? Electronics and video games and toys have really good margins. No, Adonis, never heard of Fit Shipper. There's Heather. How you doing, Heather? Oh, that's Heather Gifford. How you doing? What other items could you sell? You could sell vintage. You could sell like cameras, and camera gear is really good. Anything electronics. Video game market is tough. If you have a source, you have a way to get games at a reasonable price, you can sell them. Amazon is even good for that stuff. I've sold thousands of video games on Amazon, thousands. So, buying them up for $2, $3, listing them for 15, for 19, for, 12, whatever. All good things. I would say my top 5 things to sell, eBay, Amazon, whatever it is. Clothing, obviously, so good. Video game systems, a close second. Apple products like iPads and iPods, not really iPhones or cell phones. Stay away from the cell phones, but tablets that are Wi-Fi and aren't locked with iClouds, iPods that are not locked with iCloud, old school iPods, all that stuff, really good stuff. Small electronics that are odd that you wouldn't think of. This webcam that I'm talking to you on right now is probably used about $70. Maybe you could find it out at a thrift store for $20. Maybe you find it at a garage sale for $10. Sell it for $60, $70 used, that sort of thing. This microphone I'm talking to you on, this is $100, $120 brand new. This used is about $80, $70, $80. Again, find this out for $20, $25, flip it. If you watch the thrift battle I did on Bonafide's channel the other day, little dictator recorders, those things, you can find them for $10, $15 and sell them for $50, $60, $70. I also love point and shoot cameras, small cameras, not necessarily professional ones. Those sell good too, of course, but stuff like this, these little cameras that I use for vlogging and whatnot, these are, used market, $300, $350. You find it at a pawn shop for $100, $150, find it at a garage sale for $50. Maybe somebody on Craigslist is selling one for $100. Maybe somebody on OfferUp or Marketplace is selling one for $150. Buy it. Yes, it's more capital, but you can flip it for $350, $200 profit, less fees and shipping. You put $150 in your pocket. I mean, that sort of thing is really good. So, hey, Jamie, I see Jamie just jumped in there. And Steven, what's up? Handy cams sell really good. The handy cams that you little leather strap and you hold it up. I have one somewhere. So all those kind of small electronics. So clothing, video games, the iPod, Apple products, the cameras and small electronics. And then I really think shoes is a good market. We sell quite a bit of shoes. So shoes are really good. If you can get some shoes, girls' leather boots, things like this, these are all Bolo type things. Brand, not too important. Obviously, the better the brand, Lucky Brand, Guess, things like Eileen Fisher shoes we just sold, Salvatore Ferragamo, any of the higher end brands, all good. Nike, Adidas, Under Armour, running shoes. Fila's even sell decently. Little boots like this. This is more winter. This is more, spring, go out. And I dropped it, but you guys get the point. work boots. Those are definitely my 5 top things to sell. Toys, if you can, find a good source. Retail arbitrage, a lot of people do this at Toys R Us, Target, Walmart, Burlington, stuff like that. It's hard here where I am. It might be better in your area. Lysandra, what's up? Jeez. How do you tell if Armani jeans are real? There's a website. I can find a link, or you can Google it. Armani jeans, on the back of the buttons and like the rivets, if you flip them up, depending on what kind of Armani, if you're at Armani Emporium or like Armani Exchange, it's just going to depend on what kind they are, but they're going to have like the A or the X. They're going to say Armani or the A. They're going to have some symbol and not just plain backs or rivet backs. They're going to say the Armani. Most designer jeans have there. Like Tommy Bahama says Tommy Bahama in a little circle, and the Miss Me has like the M symbol. They all have it. Same with 7 for All Mankind has the 7. Check those buttons. That's the first way. The tags are pretty big giveaway. Again, it's on a website what to look for. The quality, the weight, the stitching, all things to look for. What kind of sold numbers am I looking for on small electronics? There's no set number. It's a question I get all the time. What kind of profit are you looking for? I'm not looking for any X specific number. If I'm buying something for $10 and I'm going to sell it and make $20 profit, that's fine. Like, I'd love to make 40 or 50, but if I'm only making $15, $20 profit, then that's fine. I don't want to spend $10 to make 10 profit. Like, that seems unreasonable. But if I'm buying something, like let's say I went to the store and I found something that I could buy quantity 50 of, and I could, spend $10, sell them for, 25 or 28 and net 20, which means I made $10. I doubled my money. Well, that seems reasonable. I wouldn't spend 50 to make, 10 or 20, like that's not reasonable, but 50 to make 50 to double the money. Yeah, of course. High-end bicycling shoes. I've heard of there's a couple that Bonafide sells, and Chris, or Steve. And like, I've sold some of the biking jerseys, but one is like one is called the Shimano. They're really high end. There are, God, what's that one? I think Northwave or Northwave Flash or something. Shimano is the one that Raken showed me. There's a couple of really good cycling brand shoes. I think DMT is another one. You can Google it. I know Shimano is just the big one that I have. I think Reebok makes some. Maybe Adidas makes some. You'd have to look it all up, but I'll have to. Pearl Izumi. Yeah, Pearl Izumi's a good one. I've heard of that. Oh, yeah. So sorry, not profit, just the sold listings. Yeah. So Gary's talking about a sell-through rate of like, okay, so let's say that I wanted to flip this camera and there's currently 500 of these for sale on eBay. So when I go over to the solds, let's say, and my solds are set to 90 days, and I think that's default. So let's say that there's 500 of these cameras, and let's say that, I don't know, 90 of these have sold over the last 90 days. So that's one a day, obviously. So out of 590 listings, because remember, there's 500 active and there's 90 that sold. So at some point in the last 90 days, 590 cameras have been put up for sale total. If 90 sold over 90 days, one a day, then 1 out of 590 cameras every single day are selling. It's really not a good sell-through rate. That could take 590 days to sell your camera, which is what, a year and a half? Kind of bad. So, if you look these cameras up and there's 100 of these active and 180 have sold, which means there were 280 listed total and over half of them sold, and 180 was 2 per day, that's not bad. That's a better sell-through rate. So that's what you need to do, is take the number of solds and the number of actives, total it up, whatever that number is, figure out how many have sold over 90 days. You'll know what percent have sold. So if the total number active and sold is 500 and the number of solds was 250, then 50% of all the stock sold in 90 days, which means every 30 days they're selling around like 16%, 0.5% per day. It's not bad. You don't want to buy something that has 10,000 active listings and only 100 selling in 90 days. That's bad. Now there can be 10,000 active, but over on the sold side, there better be several thousand that have sold at least. Otherwise the sell-through rate's just too low. And so that's how you kind of figure out whether an item, you know, the solds can say something's worth $100, but if something's only selling once every 5 days or, you know, one a day out of thousands of them, then it doesn't really matter what it's worth. Maybe you'll get that profit and that money one day if you're willing to sit on it. But obviously, for some reason, it's not popular. Or there's too much competition, or saturated market. There's all kinds of reasons for a low sell-through rate, but something to pay attention to. Not the only thing to pay attention to, but something definitely to keep an eye on. You see it in close a lot. You see, like, one of my favorites is Tommy Bahama. If I go over to their site right now, it's flooded. There's a lot of Tommy Bahama sites. If you go over to like Aeropostale shirts or something, there's 1 million shirts listed and not 1 million selling. So it's definitely something that has to weigh on your mind when you're buying things. But if for all intents and purposes you're buying something for $1 or $2 and you don't care, or you're willing to sit on it, that's fine. A lot of people saying no chat. Kind of odd. Wonder why people are not having any chat. Did the chat get disconnected? It's weird. I guess something happened. Refresh the screen, maybe. Maybe refresh. The last chat that I saw was, yeah, Christy. I see Christy chatting. So I don't really know. A couple people having issues I saw in the VIP group. So I'll have to check with them. No, I don't see anyone else getting any issues too. So not sure. Sign out, sign back in. If you're watching this chat, if you can hear me, it looks like everyone else is good. So just click your top right where your picture is, sign out, sign back in. When will the mobile listing be fixed? Julie, I just mentioned that at the start here. I know you weren't in yet. I don't have an answer for that, unfortunately. And I know a lot of people have been having problems. I'm going to try to do a little testing on it myself tonight and see if I can get something to work, but it's not doing great. So definitely something to keep an eye out for. Yeah, no problem with a lot of other people. So we have like, almost 30 people in the chat, 25 people, and just a couple having issues. So sorry if you're not able to hear anything. Sorry about that. The live feed for Jed, right there, bud. Live feed's right there. I was trying to read the other chat or the other thread, trying to see if people were able to get on, but Jed's been doing 20 a day, close to 20 a day. Your views should be up. Yeah, I'm gonna have to look through the store. That's okay. Yeah, when eBay's done screwing with us, so never. Yeah, I mean, the mobile listing, I know a lot of people reported it, so we'll have to see. We'll have to see. Okay, if there's nothing else, if there's anything else I need to cover, you can always comment below. You can always message me. You guys have unlimited access. When you paste the script into the HTML for mobile, do you delete the script that is already in there? There shouldn't be any in there, Dave. Unless it's picking it up from your previous ones, there shouldn't be any. My HTML box is typically empty. It's been slow. I mean, this is kind of slow season. I know it seems like a broken record saying that. But it's true. It's slow. So Jamie said he's the first person to talk about mobile. No, I saw a lot of people who said they reported it. David, can you take a picture the next time you do that and shoot me over a couple pictures of what you're talking about, and maybe I'll know. Maybe I'm just confused at what you're mentioning, but I don't recall my box having anything in it. It's usually empty, and then I just paste. You're definitely not the first person, Jamie, to report the mobile. I did. I mentioned it. I mentioned, I think, to eBay for Business, maybe on Twitter or Facebook. I can't remember. I mentioned it. where I just asked and I said, "What's up with this eBay for mobile? Does anybody have an answer?" Didn't really get a response, so you know, the way things go, I guess. eBay's just lying to you. Yeah, they might be. They might be, Jamie. They might be. Okay, so I'm gonna go cook some dinner. The storms, I hope, have passed. I think they're good. As always, comment down below if you have questions, if you have concerns, if you have things that need to be covered. That's why I come on here live, and that's why my inbox is open to all of you on Facebook, on my email, rockstarflipper@gmail.com. That's what you guys are here for. That's what you get. And if you need anything else, it's, of course, anytime. Have a wonderful night, all of you. And if you have questions, concerns, really, please don't hesitate. Just reach out to me. I'll see you guys soon. Have a good night.